Hello everybody, how are you? Hey, I want to welcome you to our Sunday edition of Charts and Targets. I am Rick Sadler and founder of Hit and Run Candlesticks and our trading family. And I want to thank you all for being here. Before we get started looking at charts and talking about the market, I do want to remind everybody that Monday through Friday at 8:45 Eastern, the public is welcome to join us for our pre-market charts and targets on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitter X, and YouTube. All you've got to do is be in one of those channels and you'll see it pop up live, okay? That's 8:45 Eastern AM Monday through Friday. All righty, let's get going here. One more thing, please forgive me. I'm a short-term swing trader, is what I do. And what chart was I going to look at for that? Oh, IONQ. So let me explain real quick what we're doing here. So as a short-term swing trader, what I do is I look for charts that are trending. You can see that they're trending here. And the trend, it doesn't have to be this long. It can be smaller, and it can also be intraday. So I'm looking for charts that run up in a trend and then pull back for an entry. So run up, you can see the trend started, and then we pulled back for an entry. So that's the type of trader I am, and I take profits as we move up into strength, okay? So with that said, let's take a look at this market, okay? Thanks again for watching this video. Oh yeah, if you like this video, and whether you like it already, please go ahead. Remember to like and subscribe in the video, on our social media. If you would do that, it helps out tremendously to keep all the video going and the work behind the scenes and the people involved that put this all together. So again, like and subscribe, sure would appreciate it. Okay, all right, let's get going here. So the market, I think the bulls have really come a long way, and what a big turnaround, even for me and my attitude and where I thought we were headed, and it wasn't that great. And don't get me wrong, I heard this on CNBC the other day, and I believe it's the truth. We are one tweet for a 5% move one way or the other, okay, good or bad. So please keep that in mind as we tackle this market, as you tackle this market. Just do keep that in mind. Okay, so right now we've come down, and what was this? On April 7th, we put in a bottom, and then we've just rallied up. We've pulled back. We've tested right in here, and then we've started moving up again, doing very well. You can see that something that's real important to me is price is above the T-line. The T-line is the 8 exponential moving average, and the T-line, or 8 EMA, is above our trend indicator. You can see the green dots right here, okay? So our trend is working here. As a bonus, we've come up over the 50-period moving average right now with Thursday's candle and Friday's candle. We are approaching the 200-period moving average. And as we look at that and we want to go across, let me grab a little tool here. If we just take this area, in fact, we can just take this whole area between my quadrant lines and just move it across like that. You can see that there's a fair amount of resistance, or what I call speed bumps, over here to the left. So unless there is this rush of good news, it's just probably not likely like that we're just going to keep plowing away. But a little bit of consolidation would be good. Even a little bit of a pullback would be good here. So we'll keep our eyes on that. We'll keep everyone posted on what we're doing and what we're thinking here, okay? Let's take a look at the weekly chart real quick. If you look at that weekly chart, we bounced right off of our dotted deuce. That's what we call our dotted deuce. This is the 200 period moving average, and our dotted deuce is a 200 period moving average. It just modified, okay? We modified it a little bit and we bounced right off of it. I've used that for years, and it is I think, an amazing moving average, and I use it on all my charts, both intraday and daily, like you can see here. Here we came up with a bullish piercing candle, and then we put in a week where, the bulls weren't exactly, good and strong. Neither were the bears. They weren't good and strong. And then the bulls came back in with a very nice bullish engulf. This chart pattern right here, these 3 bars right there, that's called a Fig Newton chart pattern. And it's where you have a bullish candle. It's like the Fig Newton cookie. You have the cookie on the outside, a bullish candle, and then the inside is the fig part, and this is not so bullish, and then you have a bullish candle here. But that, we look at that as a very bullish chart pattern. Of course, you need follow through, and shazam, we had follow through. We are pushing right up against that 50 period moving average. So, watch for a little stumbling along the way. That would be normal. That would be very normal. Now I want to go to a monthly chart, and let's take a look at that. And you can see the monthly chart. There's something I want to check. Yeah, okay. The monthly chart, man, talking about a long wick or long shadow to the bottom here. And now we're starting to move up, kind of a morning star sort of kind of pattern. But even the monthly chart is showing something really, really good here. And for those that use the cloud, let's start with that monthly chart. You can see that we're over the cloud on the monthly chart. Here's the weekly chart, and we're just now breaking over the top of the cloud, which I think we need a little bit more consolidation. We might run up a little bit more and then consolidate. And then let's go down to the daily chart, and you can see we're just coming up to the top of that cloud. So it'll be important to break out over this 581.32 level. I'll tell you what, let's put a line in there, and then we'll come back and visit that, okay? So that 580.64, that's where I put that line. So close to that area right there. There we go. And you can see by my chart up here, I use TC2000, by the way, and you can see that it says that we're above the cloud on the weekly, the 60-minute, and the 3-bar chart. So we're on the daily, we're not above the cloud. Now let's go to the 3-bar chart, which is a 130-minute chart. By the way, right after this, we're going to take a look at some recent closes that I closed, and then we're going to look at charts for this week, okay? So hang with me just for a moment. You can see that on a 3-bar chart, we're clearly above the cloud, and this is what we need to get through. This area right through here, about that 580, 581 area. And then here's the 60-minute. You can see we're above the cloud, and this is the area we're going to be trying to get through. All right, let's go back over to this chart here and go back to the daily. And you can see there, that's that area that we marked where we need to get through on the cloud of about 580, 581 up there. And that is also our 75% retracement line. That's what these gray lines are, they're retracement lines. And you can see we're coming back up toward that. We've cleared the 50% line, and we've cleared the 61.8 line, and now we're headed to that 75. If you take a look at the Qs, you can see that it's pretty much doing the same thing. And let's do this. We've had a nice rally to the upside. We've had a rest. See, that's the kind of trade I like. Up and rest. The rest can be sideways. It can be a little bit of a pullback. So up, you can see the trend working there with the green dots. What a great place to have entered, and now we're looking great here. Okay. All right. Now let's take a look at some charts that were recently closed, but I got to tell you, I only closed them because of the weekend. I didn't want, because I had such good profits in them, I didn't want to hold those over the weekend in case something happened. and they went down. I am in the market to buy these back, and I will be looking at that, all right? So one is MRVL here. We closed that out, and you can see how this chart, we've got ourselves a nice little bottom put in there, low to a high. You can call that a double bottom, close enough for me, or a lower high. And then we rallied up, and then you see the entry area here, right through there. That would be the entry area. Let me get my different tool out here. We'll make that blue. See that consolidation right there? A nice little pop out of the box. That's one thing we look for. That's price squeezing. Squeezing close to a couple moving averages, and then we're looking for that breakout. This is a buying area, by the way. This is a 3/8 trap. 3/8 trap. If you've not investigated the 3/8 trap, I absolutely would love, take one of our trials. It's only $7 if you haven't. Come in the room, make sure that you hammer me for a 3/8 trap. I mean, we talk about it, but if you want to know more and more and more, hammer me to keep talking about it, okay? The 3/8 trap is a very cool entry, very cool setup. So 3/8 trap here, and then you can see we rallied up. I took those profits again because I had too much to risk over the weekend. I will be looking at buying this back. I still look at it moving higher. This is the 50% retracement, and that makes an awfully nice target. Another one is IONQ. Bought some IONQ and had a terrific profit in that. So I closed that one out. I will be looking to buy that back. And one of the places that I would love to do that is on an inside day next week, or this week coming up. And there's our 50% retracement line right in there, where their lines are bunched up. That makes for a fantastic target for charts coming up. And then when we break out over that, it makes a fantastic support area once we break out and a pullback to a test. Another one is Walmart. I had to get rid of the Walmart. Walmart came right up to our 75% level, and that is just an area. Here we are a weekend. It's been up 1, 2, 3, 4 days. The profits were good, so pull Walmart off the table, put that money in the pocket, and now we'll wait for a little bit of a rest, a little bit of pullback, a reason to get into that chart, okay? All right, now let's take a look at some charts that I'm looking at for next week. By the way, these charts, you can find them. Yesterday, I posted charts on, what was it, Facebook X, and various other places. StockTwits. These charts are all posted there. So if you saw them there, that's great. Go back and look at them again. We're going to talk about them here today on this video. So thank you again. Hey, don't forget, like and subscribe if you like this video. Sure would appreciate that, okay? All right, thanks. All right, let's take a look at DJT here. So here's our 50% retracement, and this is the area that I would, I'm looking for a path to profits. I want to be able to see a path to profits. So if we just do this right there, that's what I'm looking for. And clearly there's going to be little spots along the way that, you might see a little bit of a resistance or a little bit of speed bumps maybe, where it slows price down a little bit, things like that. So, always remember that just because this might be a target we wanted to go to, the fact is taking profits into strength is, I think, a smart thing to do. There's just no way in the world, or it's very unlikely, that this thing is just going to march straight up like this. It happens, but come on. I think it's better to take some profits along the way. So anyway, with that said, here we have a bottom. We've rallied up and tested the 50 once, twice, and then we broke through. And from there, we rallied right up to the 200 and our dotted deuce, our modified 200 period moving average. And then you can see we pulled back. Let me make that a little bigger. There you go. Now you can see it. I was having a tough time seeing it, so I know you are. We put in a nice little hammer here, and now we're starting to move up. Those that are familiar with a J-hook, or a J-hook is just a fancy name for a continuation pattern. And a continuation pattern is simply a chart that's in a trend, pulls back, and then gets back into that trend. So here we are, we trended up, we pulled back, and now I'm looking for this to get back into its trend. We do need to get through that dotted deuce, the 200, and now we start getting up into some pretty good profit areas here. And then, good profit targets in there. So DJT is hot on our list. Another thing too is make sure you watch for earnings. We're right in the middle of our earnings. And some of these charts we're looking at have earnings right around the corner. SOUN, is that right? SOUN, yep. This is one that I'm watching pretty carefully. We've got a nice little squeeze going on here. Nice tight little range happening. We're also squeezing around the 200 period moving average, the dotted deuce, the 50 period moving average, the 8 EMA, and our trend indicator. So we're squeezing real tight right in here. We're also setting up for with an inverted head and shoulders, this being, let me show that for people that don't know it. There's your left shoulder, there's your head, and then there's your right shoulder here. And now that we've broken out, we're pulling back, we're setting up, and again, this is the price target. This is what I see as our playground moving up right through here. So this is the area that I'll be looking for to trade on rallies and pullbacks, rallies and pullbacks, rallies and pullbacks. Another one that I have here is Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla's setting up quite well, I believe. And I'm long TSLA, and we'll go look at that in just a second here. But you can see the bottom. We've got a bottom set up here on Tesla. And then we can take this area here, all that right there. That's the area where price has constructed this bottom. And now we've broken out over that bottom. We're just, price is having a darndest time getting over that 200 period moving average, that's for sure. But just because it can't get over it doesn't mean it's failing it, okay? I hear that often, price moving up, and then somebody screams, it's failing the 200, failing the 200. Relax a little bit. It's not failing it. Let's not beat it up just yet. It's just trying to sniff out a crack so it can break out. I'm still looking for this area up here around 350 for a target on Tesla. You can see this consolidation, and you can see the squeeze going on with the moving averages and price action there. Now, I'm holding TSLA right here, and you can see how that squeeze is working out right through here. And a nice move up just to the $15 area. That's about a 44% move up to the 200 period moving average. Another one that I think is looking pretty darn good is this QBTS. We've got ourselves I call this a Morningstar signal. I know it's, you probably don't see that in any books or anything, but it does the same thing. And here's what I have. We're bearish, and then you've got this, green bar here, and then you've got this bar right here. To me, this is just one big bar right there like that. And then we've got this move up. Let's see, sometimes you can move this to a 2-day chart. There's your Morningstar if you're looking for something out of the books. There's your Morningstar signal. But anyway, here we're popping up. I'm still looking for this 50% area to be tagged. And then if we just did this right here, this would make a good entry area. This might pull us back to that 3.8 trap below the highest high in the past 5 days. And then if we do that, You know, that's about 18% up to that 50% retracement. And then, so this being the retracement area, and we break out and then come back and test, or just go sideways. That's all testing there, and then we'll look for buyers coming in, that signal that we get to move up higher. So QBTS, big time on our watch list. AM EST, I think it's setting up nice. We've got a little inverted head and shoulders in there. Here we're up over the 50 period moving average. There's our trend is working. There's our pullback right here, our squeeze, our tightness, and now we're starting to break out. And you've got the for target areas, you've got the dotted deuce here. You've got the another quadrant line set up here. And then you've got that 50 period, or I'm sorry, the 200, and then you've got the 50% retracement up here. So AMAT is one I'm watching very closely here on the semiconductor area, is a possible move to the upside. Was it SOXL? That's not on my list here to talk about today. I should have put it here, but that's another one that I'm watching. We're creating the bottom right now on this one here, on SOXL, and it has quite a bit of room that it could move. All right, the last one that I have today, and might be possibly the best one. I think this is looking pretty good here. Real nice. TEM. So I'm going to draw a line over here, and then over here to the right. And we've got ourselves an inverted head and shoulders. So this is going to be the shoulder, this is going to be the head, and this is going to be the right shoulder right there. Well, here we've rallied up, and there's a beautiful little pullback right to the 50 period moving average, to the T line, close to the trend indicator. Everything's working. This is our 50% retracement right here. And I think we're on our way to get there. This will be high on my list to buy this week, possibly Monday. And what I'm going to do is put the buy box in here like this. So what this does, it alerts me when I look at the chart tomorrow, Monday. Then, I don't know if I said the date. Today's 5/4. May 4th. I wish I would have said that earlier. Watch for that pullback, then I'll look for the buy signal in there. Assuming it's around 55.40, up to that 50% retracement, that's 15%. And then up here to our 61.8 line, that's going to be about 27%. So TEM is hot on our list. Hey, look, I want to remind everybody, if you can manage to listen to us, watch us pre-market, 8:45 Eastern, Monday through Friday. We're live to the public. You can find us on YouTube, X, Facebook. You'll see us pop up if you're watching that, live. You're more than welcome to join in. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Also, take a look at our social media and like and subscribe if you like the charts we put out, the information we put out. Okay. Hey, I want to thank everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. All righty. You guys all take care. Thanks.